Hi, Marcus. I wonder if we could do this show. I saw your show on YouTube, and I feel that there's something I really want to say for the world about the transgender community, about what it's like to be transgender. It's important. It's something that people are not really aware of at this time, and I feel that your show would be good for a platform to bring this awareness out.
I am here today to meet with Sharon. She is transgender. She reached out to me because she wanted to speak about the transgender issue. So we're gonna meet with Sharon and hopefully this interview goes well.
Marcus Ward.
He's mad funny.
He's a funny guy.
Wow, Marcus Ward.
Like him, likes personality.
He's a really nice guy, but gosh, he has some pointy questions.
I respect him. I respect what he does, what he's doing.
This Marcus Ward show is, he's bringing light to a lot of very special issues and marginalized people. I felt very comfortable with him. I gotta say that. The guy is really great. He's adorable.
Me llamo Alberto, yo soy de El Salvador y tú estás mirando Marcus Ward Show.
Did you have the operation?
First of all, Marcus, transgender people in general feel that is an extremely impolite question. We don't go around asking people, do you have a penis or do you have a vulva? Why would you ask a transgender person that? I was born with a male body.
Male body. So that means you had a penis.
Right. Whether I've had an operation or not is nobody's business but my sex partner. That's the only person who needs to be concerned with that in any way, shape, or form. It is not up to the world. We don't go around showing off our penis or our vulva. It's against the law, in fact. So why would somebody even care? Did you have the operation or not? Because to answer that, why people care is because we're brought up to think that people with penises are masculine and people with vulvas are feminine. But that is an error, as I mentioned before.
So are you uncomfortable at answering if you've had an operation?
All transgender people pretty much are uncomfortable with that question. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to answer it because that's what my purpose is to bring this awareness to where other people will not do that. I myself have been having what's called hormone replacement therapy. That means at first I was taking medication to suppress the testosterone, and I was taking hormones, estradiol specifically, to replace that hormone with female hormones. And that caused natural breast development. I have natural breasts. There's a redistribution of fat and muscle so that my hips got wider, my butt got bigger. I have a total girl butt. I did anyway, but it's really girl now. There was a lot change in muscle mass. My prior self had, and this is why I say prior self also, the physical aspects. He had Popeye arms, very muscular, see this is not muscular. He had massive arms. He was much stronger than most men his size.
So, do you have a penis or do you have a vagina?
Me personally, again, this is not anybody's business, but me personally, because I was allergic to the medication that suppressed testosterone, I had an orchiectomy.
And what is that?
That is a testectomy. That means they removed my testicles. It's not a penis or a vulva that makes somebody a man or a woman. What makes somebody a man is his personality, his demeanor, his ways of handling himself, the way he interacts with other people.
So do you think it is feminine characteristics that makes a woman a woman.
Exactly.
So you don't think it's if a woman can have a child or if a woman gets
That has nothing to do with whether she's a woman or not. There are a lot of women, for various reasons, cannot have a child. Now, we're talking woman as if female equals woman equals feminine, and that's not how it is in real life. If I stuffed tissue paper in my bra, or if I didn't have any breasts at all, which many women don't have breasts naturally, they just don't have them. Okay?
So why do you think the surgery is necessary then to have a vagina? Because I mean, you're saying that
Sexually, the few encounters I've already had, one with a soft butch woman who is very masculine, one with a cross-dresser that's a man who identifies as a man but likes to wear women's clothes, transvestite. This individual was very effeminate with me to a point, but both of them still treated me as a male. But both of them were able to caress me and treat me gently. And I loved it. It was the most wonderful thing in the world. And one sex partner I had caressed me so well, I actually started to have an orgasm. It was absolutely wonderful. And she stopped. It freaked her out and she stopped. And she tried another thing. She tried to operate my sex organ as if I were female. She was a lesbian. And she knew how to do that, and she treated me as a female. And again, I started having an orgasm. And it was the first time anybody had ever done that for me. So that's why I need the operation. The surgery, the bottom surgery as we call it,
the bottom surgery
is only about sex.
Okay.
There is no other reason on this planet for me to have bottom surgery as far as me being out in public, interacting with other people. That never comes up. Nobody, you had to ask. If you have to ask, obviously it's not important. If
so
you have to,
you're going to have the bottom surgery for sex.
I'm going to have the bottom surgery so that when people have sex with me, they will treat me like a woman. Because when people have sex with me as with physical characteristics of man, they assume that I'm, with male characteristics, they assume I'm a man.
So your day-to-day...
And I'm not.
Your day-to-day maneuvering, that was my next question.
How often does your penis come into play when you interact with other people outside of your significant other? Doesn't, does it? When you go to a restaurant and order food, does the waitress ask if you have a penis or not before she calls you man or sir? No. She looks at your clothing. She looks at how you behave. She listens to your voice. All these outer clues. That's what makes somebody a man or a woman.
So with you, your day-to-day maneuvering, you're dressed in women's clothing. Do the public automatically assume you are female, or are you still treated as male?
People would call me sir sometimes. And ma'am sometimes. People identify, every one of us...
And how would you react?
Me and most transgender people are very offended by that. It hurts. It's
But
like
what if
I'm
they
doing
don't-
all this effort to show you that I'm a feminine person and you're not acknowledging it.
But what if they don't know? Because even myself, I have to admit, I'm just going into this interview not knowing.
Exactly.
So
and that's most
I did not
people.
know what to address you as.
And that's most people.
So would you say then you should cut people some slack then if they don't know?
Bullshit.
If I
put up a lot of
dress
effort
this
to
way,
present myself as a
put
woman.
on this makeup,
I want to be
this
respected for that.
is
And
my
it
way of
hurts me if
telling
somebody
the
calls me
world
ma'am. I'm not doing
that
this
I'm a woman,
transgender thing for
that
fun.
I'm
Nobody
just
does this
almost
transgender thing for fun.
that
This
I'm
is
not
an
rough
extremely
and
difficult thing to do.
As a little boy, did you always feel that you were in the wrong body?
I was told this since I was a child, that I'm a girl. My dad beat me for it. He was brutal, he spanked me, he was verbally abusive. It was constant. It wasn't like there was one worse thing. It was when he started talking to me when I was a child until the time he died, he was saying horrible things.
Boy.
You're acting like a girl. Biff!
In the face.
He knocked me upside my head with his hand. And that was when I was about 5 or 6.
Do you think your father is ashamed of you today?
Thank God my father is dead.
Do you think your father
I think
knew-
my mother would be very proud. Let me finish what I'm saying. When I turned 8 years old, it started being obvious that I was a very feminine person. My mom bought me a dress one time. We went to a drive-in movie, just her and me, and she let me wear a dress. It was pretty cool. I thought that, okay, I'm going to see what it's like to be a girl. But
How old were you then?
8 years old. She taught me how to put on makeup. She taught me, when I started having puberty, she taught me how to do a breast exam for cancer. And I think had I been a child today, she would have had me be transgender. My mom started introducing me to feminine things, and my dad started teaching me self-defense.
Do you think your father knew that because of
He
your
came to
presentation
accept it.
that you may have to learn how to fight because...
That's exactly what I think happened. And he was right, because it came in handy later on, because men did try to beat me up.
Which bathroom do you use?
I use the women's bathroom because I'm assigned female, and when I tried to go into a men's dressing room and a fitting room at a store, my friend and the worker freaked out. You can't go in there, you're a woman.
So legally you are defined as what?
I am legally female.
Legally female. So it's not
By
just
law.
by law. So it's not just psychologically, it's not just how you feel. Legally on your license it says female.
Yes. I am
Okay.
legally female. That means I could get in trouble for going into the men's bathroom. Women hold the door for me. We chitter chatter in the restroom. Men don't talk in the bathroom, but women yak, yak, yak. You know, hi sweetie, how's it going? Hey, did you try this makeup? Blah, blah, blah.
So do you think women accept you as one of them, as a woman?
Yes, very much
Have you
so.
ever encountered any woman who not accept you as a woman because you cannot have a child?
If a uterus were transplanted into me, then I would be able to bear a child. Yes.
You'll be able to bear a child.
Yes.
So-
and nurse the child. And I could nurse the child from my own mammary gland. Before my transition, I was trying to portray myself as big tough guy. And it didn't work. It still doesn't. I try to tell people I'm a big tough man, and I am. I'm rough and tumble, and I can whoop any man. But they don't believe me. They just go, "You're such a girl." And I don't know why they call me such a girl. It's just wrong. After talking about all this, I cry. I just feel like I need to touch up my makeup a little bit. It's part of the identity. It helps me reinforce who I am. Can we do that?
So this is Jonathan, who you were before.
That picture you just saw was the prior person. That was not me. I'm Sharon. I'm female. That was a male person with a different body. That individual there does not exist anymore. He's gone. He's dead. He's passed on. He committed suicide. And I hate looking at this. I hate looking at this picture. It hurts. I'm not a serp. I'm not that person. I never was. I was never that person, that play. And it was horrible of people to make me be like that. It was horrible for society to require me to act like some person. They used to tell me you have to look in the mirror and tell yourself you love yourself. I hated me. Now I can't get out of the mirror. I love me now as Sharon. I'm a happy, cheerful person, not that miserable man.
We've heard Sharon's voice, but I would like to hear Jonathan's voice because you still have Jonathan's voice.
This is my regular voice now, okay? This is my vocal cords. I can produce that other voice simply by rumbling in my chest. I did work to change my larynx using hormones. I won't do the voice
I'm a person who
together with this
is being
image right
told
here.
How to be,
It's not going to happen.
how men are. I'm Jonathan. I'm not a real person. I'm a very sad person. I can't look in the mirror. I hate how I look. Recently, a counselor told me that if I were to transition to womanhood, it would make me happy, and I'm not so sure, but I'm going to give it a try. It's worth it. And a few years later, here I am as a woman. I look better off of camera than I do on camera. Trust me, I'm very passing. I get picked up by men. I get flirted with. And it's hard for me to get out of the mirror. I love how I look now. Again, I look better in person than on camera. For most transgender people, you're not even going to see a picture of their former self. I'm rare that I can talk about this in public, but I would like to reiterate that this is not something that transgender people generally want to be in public about. Thank you.